Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Lighting Your Sunshine, where we like to shine a light within and empower ourselves. So for today, I just woke up from a nap and I had free time and I thought let's just get some of these really old downloads that I've gotten over the last couple months and just let it be up and out. Because I keep getting the nudge from spirit to like, make that video, make that video, make that video. And I'm like, I can think of a million reasons why I can't at that moment, but I feel like this is the perfect moment. And I feel like, even though it did come a long time ago, the message is relevant to right now, or whenever you get it, because what is right now? This month is November. And if you go back to the readings, if you've been kind of following along, there'll be like stories all the time, but there's like one consistent message that always seems to like weave through them all. And in that weaving message, it talked about November. It talked about how November was going to be such a huge shift that we are, it's just a new cycle, a new everything. That all the things that you've been like working for, it's like almost that forward momentum. So I've seen a lot of people feeling like they've hit brick walls, they've done all these things. I keep going and I keep going and I keep going and nothing seems to be like showing or happening. And so I guess this is just like a little nudge or reminder to keep going because it is November now. And let's say you watch this after November, I guess this message comes to you right when you need to hear it because just stay consistent, keep the effort. And I feel like that breakthrough moment is just around the corner. But yeah, so what have I been learning about this last week? I've been learning about, wasn't this last week? A while ago. So there was a while I was going and I was dealing with pathogens. I was studying pathogens and cell biology. And as I was into like the pathogens module of it, I was like really embracing like my inner Lilith energy, just to kind of understand it, you know, let it click, those kind of things. And so that's the energy that kind of came through with this reading. And it came as a clairaudient message, right? So I did the course, did everything, did the exam. After the exam was done, I went home and I just put on music just to like de-stress and unwind. And then that's when the message came through. And so I used Spotify. I put it on DJ Spotify. So it picks totally random everything. So this time it kind of like picked a genre and then it seemed to be more into like punk and then just like 5 songs and then it'll switch it up and then it will go to all these things. So I thought it was just so cool how these 3 songs came right after I finished my Pathogen exam. And yeah, anyways, I'll just tell you what the message was. Okay. So while in my inner Lilith energy, just finished trying to decompress, put the music on, and the very first song that comes on is by Bad Religion, and the song's called Infected. And it's Infected is all about being in an extremely toxic relationship to the point that, like maybe it started off something, I want to say something as simple and innocent as just being a little codependent, and then how something like that can twist and turn and manipulate and that's what I see. I just see like one bad chaotic cell replicating and taking over everything, right? And now you've got this infection that you've got to deal with. And so that song is all about, I don't know, it's like being stuck in that relationship. You know that it's bad for you. You know that it's so toxic, but for some people, it's really hard to leave, right? I feel like in those moments, it's hard to leave because at the beginning, there was like a positive side shown, right? There was connection or something. And then it wasn't bad all the time, right? It wasn't rainy every day. And so you always remember like those moments and you always hold hope out for that. And so that's what I see like in this one song, it almost gets to the point of like being physical and all these things. And it's just awful. Yeah, so that song kind of goes, and I was like, infection, how perfect to be with like pathogens and diseases and just like, ugh, you know? And then so I was like, who wants to be me? I feel like I need to hold that. It's just like a crutch. Anyways, I was like, who wants to be in like that energy, right? And then, so I thought that was really funny too, because the very next song that came out was by a band called All, and the song was called Breaking Up. And so this song's all about someone, right? It's like at the last moment, it's like, well, what if I had just put a little more effort? What if I had actually tried, right? You're in something so toxic, and like someone finally like gets up the oomph or the balls or confidence to be like, you know what? I deserve better than that. Like, peace out, sucker. And then they're like, I'm breaking up with you. And then so that's when they always kind of have that moment of like, well, wait. Like, did we try everything? Like, and it's like, if you really wanted to try, you would have tried before. But it's infected, it's toxic, it's gross, it's yucky. We don't want it. So anyways, this breaking up energy. And so that's what I saw, someone leaving a very toxic relationship. And then the third song to come out was No Effects, Linoleum. And so this is like where I got like all the insights, everything tied together. The first one's kind of made sense. It was like showing a story, but most of the downloads came from the Linoleum song, right? Anyways, it was mostly at the end. At the beginning, he kind of like talks about he's like, I don't care about possessions. And right, his pants got holes, everything's falling. And then that's what I saw, someone. Okay, so it gets to the part at the end where it's like, that's me in the street with a violin. I'm singing it at offbeat. It's in my head, but I can't say it out because I feel like talking, not singing. So I'm going to say it, okay? That's me in the street with a violin under my chin. That's me playing with a grin, singing gibberish. That's me on the back of the bus. That's me in the cell. That's me inside your head. That's me inside your head. That's the point where I got all the insights. And so, yeah. Okay. So that's me on the street with a violin. So that's what I see is like, I see someone being in a very toxic relationship. They remove themselves. It seemed like you stay in a relationship because you tend to get like stability or something from it, right? But by taking yourself away and out of that stability, it's the unknown. So like in the Linoleum song, I see someone like breaking up, leaving, and like they don't got nothing, right? They're like, I got a bed, I got this, I got that. But it's almost like so much more successful because now they're out on the beach, like living it up, getting their quarters from the beach, whatnot. But yeah, I see it as like hard work, but like a simple life, enjoyment. There's not the stress and the bullshit and the toxicity and the infection that wants to steal your joy and your happiness. And so as I saw that, it's just like you're working hard, maybe you're taking the bus, maybe you're doing all these things, but you're free and you're happy and you're doing it on your own. And so, right, go play your violin, go work on your hobby or your craft, your skill, whatever it is. And then, right, you're singing. For those who sing, like you have to have joy within you to sing. You don't sing when well, I guess you could sing when you're angry. Passionate. I would say passionate, not angry. But who knows? We could fit all the emotions into the way we use our voice. But that's mostly what I saw, is like someone taking their energy, packing up, going on like this adventure. And like, yeah, it's like it took a little bit of your stability, but now you're into like simplicity, but you don't have all the bullshit, as I said. And so now you're out there doing your thing, doing your hobbies. You're just loving life again because you're healing, right? You take that away, right? Get some antibodies and whatnot. You're going to start to heal. And so that's when I saw, that's where this part comes in. That's me on the back of the bus. That's me in the cell. That's me inside your head. So in this story, I saw the person stuck, well, both people were stuck in the toxic relationship, but whoever's watching, right, we're going to go for your point of view. We don't really care as much as the other person's perspective, right? It's subjective. It's like, what did you learn from this lesson and that? And so what I see is like you were in your head a lot. Right? You doubted everything. I feel like there might have been a lot of gaslighting, a lot of something, a lot of whatever. And so decision-making became really hard. And so, yeah, that's what I see now is like being happy, being simple. Simple was easy to make decisions now. And so you don't have much, but you also don't have all those complicated things and emotions tied to pleasing someone that you just can't please. And so that's what I saw. I saw someone out being happy, doing their thing. And the part that says, that's me in the cell. Bacteria need a cell to take over in order to infect it. And so that's what I kind of saw is like, right, that's what that was. But the cell now is a mental trap. So you free yourself from a toxic relationship. As the All One, the Breaking Up song was like, once you took your energy back, that's when they became like, well, damn, like, I wish I tried more. Like, what if I had tried? It's just like, can we try over? Is it too late? Like, I'm gonna put effort now. And now, so that person sees you off being happy, and coulda, woulda, shoulda is coming up. And who cares about coulda, woulda, shoulda? It was nothing of relevance in the 3D. And now Spirit's bringing me to talk about 5D for some reason. There's all these people who make promises, right? I'm going to be there, right? That all those energy workers, like in the 5D we're together, but in the 3D it's completely opposite actions. For those who are like, no, but I know that this is my person. What does the 3D tell you? What do the actions show you? Right? We don't want to get caught up in like Delulu and kind of look back at ourselves and be like, how did I not see that? Because at the beginning of this, I saw someone being so mad at being too naive. And now I want to talk about, I'm seeing someone being open and happy and nice and kindness. That's it. I'm seeing kindness being mistaken for naivety. And they're not the same. Don't get those things confused at ever. Because what I see from this, right, you take yourself from it, you get back to the simplicity. Possessions don't mean much. You can always get back whatever it is that you had. But that's the main thing that I saw. You can build it all up. You can. So is there anything else that kind of wants to go over this? Or can we kind of go into cards and like pull a little bit more as to what they want to share? Yeah, just pretty much that's me in the cell. Bacteria need a cell, and it looks like you found a way to transport it on a bus moving forward. So, so that's like active transportation. It looks like a lot, and it looks like a lot of growth away from the previous toxic relationship you were in. I hate when T9 changes all my stuff. So anyways, transportation on the bus. Sometimes you need an active transport. And what do you need for that? Oh no, that's a different reading. I'm sorry. Chemistry came out in 2 readings. This one's only pathogens. This one is not chemistry. That's like 2 readings from now. So that's me rewinding. Let's ignore that. And okay, let me show you what cards we're going to use. So I pulled out the Midnight Magic because I thought, well, fungus was part of the pathogens. And these are good ones. Not true. There's a lot of deadly ones in this. But we're going to use the mushroom cards. We're going to use Guardians of the Night because we're totally in the Lilith energy. I picked these Moonology ones because they were the dark ones. And then I also pulled the Occult Tarot because they're kind of like, it does deal with like a more demon energy, but I don't know how to explain it. Let's just do it. Mushrooms first. Really? Okay. Okay, so we got 8 of Swords. 8 of Swords is all about like thinking that you're trapped into something. We got the Chariot, which is all about moving away from being something trapped in it. Oh, that one. Who are you? Page of Wands in reverse with the pink burn cap. Ooh, sick burn, except it's not because it's in reverse. Oh, it's that one. And that one. And then what's this one? 4 of Pentacles. Which 4 of Pentacles is like holding on to your money and being like, I can't, like I can't spend any money. And this is like, you know what? Money comes, money goes. I can get money from going on the metal detector on the beach. I can go play my violin. I can go do this. Like whatever I need, I will always be supported. And that's the really cool thing about the universe. And you only really kind of find that. It's scary, but you have to walk away from something that harms you, right? Pathogen and dis-ease. It's like when things are ease, right? We want to be in ease. It's easy. Dis-ease. Like going uphill. Okay. Boom. 1. Okay. What did I pull? Okay, so the question is for the timing of all this. What do you need to release? We mentioned that it's like November, and in November that there's going to be this like huge shift forward. That thing that you've been hitting your head against the wall in all these songs, it seemed like be a really bad relationship, and you kind of like left that relationship, and that relationship was, that's what, why am I doing this? I almost feel like someone being like, I'm seeing like a strict like ruler, who's not an emperor, but more like that teacher with like a yardstick, and like, yeah. Anyways, and I'm seeing like time being of something. So right now we have all this greatness coming. We've been hitting our heads about these things, and it's like, why even keep trying? Like, I feel like I keep putting active energy into this and it's not budging. But what do you need to release is all the old of the past of this. It's time to let this past go so that the new shift can come forward. So it might even be like a time of like, perfect card. I was going to say, it might even be a time of like contemplation and like you just being here now, not doing anything, like hermit mode. And so with that, I got the 9 of Pentacles, and look who's the perfect representation of that. It's the bear hibernating. I don't know what the hell my brain was thinking. Yeah, so the bear, it's like sitting here dreaming of like all these fish and pentacles and things like that. Resources are good because it's stocked up. So I want to say with this and penny pinching, okay, they say go through the mushroom ones. So the top one is columned stinkhorn. Ugh. Anyways, so obviously it stinks, and that stink probably smells like an infection or something like that. And so it is in reverse, and it's like, how do you get rid of the stink and things like that? 8 of Swords is thinking that you're trapped in something, but I'm seeing you move on from it. That's that Chariot. What does this one say? Conifer cone cap? Conifer cone cap. Oh, it's a pine cone, and it seems like the mushrooms, like the spores go into the pine cone, and like as it like floats around or rolls around. Cool. And that's where the wheel and the chariot of his momentum goes. So there is a need to kind of like keep rolling. Just keep rolling. The next one to come out was that pink burn cap, which was no burn, right? If you moving on from this stinky situation, that's where okay, so this is the king oyster. It's in reverse, but let me just tap a tiny bit into it. Because I see that everything is good, that you can sleep peacefully and soundly. As that one said, possessions don't mean much to me. And then it's like, oh wait, I'm lying. I got a bed. And like, here's this grizzly bear, and it's just sleeping. Maybe on the floor, on the linoleum. Funny. And anyways, 4 of Pentacles, like holding on. And it's like everything that and so I think that there was a need to do that, right? You could have just gone out and spent so frivolously and be like, we're eating out at restaurants every single night. I'm going to the pub. And so you did need to save, but you have everything that you need, at least the basics and the necessities, the bare necessities. And cheesy. Yeah, so now you can like rest assured. And I feel like it's just like timing. When the timing's right, you don't even have to do anything. You just be yourself, and like you'll hear the call. I keep getting that this is, I don't know what bird this is, but I heard it was kookaburra, and then that song came to my head, like kookaburra sitting in the old gum tree. I just hear like the main thing that came out of that song was like the singing of joy and things like that. Like you'll hear it. And I feel like because the other thing was so stinky, like that stinkhorn, toxic, infected relationship, you can move away from it. And maybe now you're in this hermit mode or isolation. And okay, the next one, perfect. We had a peacock moment in reverse. So it's not really feeling as confident and as like, look at me. Like maybe you don't want the attention. Maybe you don't want those things. You're like, I don't think I can trust people. And especially 9 of Cups is like, yeah. Anyways, I see someone not being as confident And so that's what that kookaburra said, that joy. It's like you will know who you're drawn to by their energy. The other person, I remember at the beginning how I was like talking about being a little bit naive and like, damn, why didn't I see the signs? Because there could have even been like, what's that word called? Breadcrumbing, right? Like love bombing, that's it. Like it was like so nice. Like it was like, it seemed like, I don't want to say too good to be true. It was just reciprocated. It was equal. And then somewhere along it, it wasn't equal. It became unbalanced. So I see someone kind of like coming back into their confidence. Confidence is coming with this. And what's the last one? So we've got King of Cups, but it was in reverse. And when I look at this, with it in reverse, King of Cups, I'm seeing, right, King of Cups is like loving and nurturing kind of, but in the reverse, I don't see it as like the opposite of that, like a negative emotional person. I see this actually as like free willy. You know how an orca is in captivity and their fin kind of hunches over? That's what I saw as this cup. It should be free. It should be this like open, happy, whatever. What about it? It needs, and then this card said, what needs to be released? And it's this feeling of captivity within yourself that you don't feel safe. Because like you're sleeping so peacefully. Everything's okay. You've made it out of that. And what I get from it is like that this person sits now in regret, being like, I lost that one. But you've kind of grown and you've leveled up so much that you just, what do you want to share about that? Okay, they're telling me go back to this. What about it? Okay, as I actually sat and looked at it more, let me look at this one too. I was drawn to the waves. I was drawn to this one, and then this one. And it's like two different waves. This one looks more like chaotic and like stressful, and this one's like more smooth and goes with the flow. And then up here I saw the fish, and then I saw the fish again in this one. It's almost like fish. There's like so there's something fishy. There's that stink one. What's this called again? The column stinkhorn. And like not saying, right? It's just like this past memory kind of leaves this almost like bad taste or like bad smell, bad something in the memory. And it's almost like when you look at these, like you can't even see the fish. Like the fish probably did not stand out to you when you first looked at this, but then upon closer inspection, it's there. But in this one, I think it's like even weirder. Like why is there fish on the walls along with pentacles? And so that's almost like what I see. What's that thing, like Febreze commercial, where it's like you're nose blind, and I think that's how toxic relationships start, is we become blind to it because it was so great at the beginning, but then we become nose blind to it, and then we don't see, and then we wake up one day and we're like, crap. How do I get myself here? How do I get myself out of there? Because I don't recognize myself anymore. I used to be so confident and cocky, but now I'm a little bit like insecure. And so it's just saying like, okay, that insecurity, they're stuck on that. And they kind of show it as like, I'm seeing someone only be insecure because it's like not seeing the forward momentum anymore. Like I feel like you change something and it's like I made change happen, and now it's like it's gone to this nice contemplative state where you're safe, and it's like what now? And so now that there's nothing for you to physically go out and do, now you have to be. And so as you be, there's those emotions and the old memories, and the old memories kind of come, and you're not in the same place that you were, you're where you are now, but it's like these old memories taint whatever it is, the past. And it brings back that stinkhorn, that smell. So what do you need to release is the old memories. The thing that, it's almost like the past, I'm putting myself like behind me, but the past is coming forward and it's like infusing with your memories now, but it's not here. And so there's what are you trying to show me, Spirit? It's that weird water. It's like trying to mesh two things together. And so it's not really working, right? It's like, in some cases, like attract like, and opposite, polar bonds. But this one, what am I seeing it as? What are you showing me? They're showing it in terms of energy, but it also is more so like, I don't know, they just keep showing it as like fabric of reality that would never mix or blend. So it can't work in that picture. And that's why this whale is in captivity. It's almost like, even if the two got together and fit into the puzzle pieces, like they don't fit because they're not the puzzle pieces. But even if they did, they're so far off in like frequency or resonancy or something that like, you could be in that, but you have to be the most open and non-judgmental person with the best boundaries ever, because that's where I keep seeing it. Like, no matter what, it's locked. It's not a puzzle piece where it clicks. It's locked in confinement. And I don't know, it just doesn't feel safe. So, and then I heard four of these. So what do you need to release? These old thoughts. These are kind of the things, or like, it's almost like, okay, so what I want to see is like a pattern of the thoughts. You know how you have like a trigger or something, like I thought of this, and then this reminded me of this, and then this reminded me of this. It's like one thing that kind of, you'll be like on a positive, woo, and there's like, whoa, way back over here. So what do you need to release? It's the thought pattern. So 4. So 1, 2, 3, and that one 4. So what did we get here? Any repeats? No. Okay. I can't say probably half the words, so whatevs. So here we have the King of Swords with Elagos. It reveals knowledge of the forthcoming battles and procures the favor of the lords of the king. So, reveals knowledge of forthcoming battles. So, in the past, right, it's like, I almost see it as like, I'm seeing, okay, the infection. The infection started as like a scratch, and then that's kind of like how it got in, and like that healed. But because that healed on the surface, like what was underneath wasn't quite properly taken care of. And so that's what I see. It's like that future thing. It's like, I thought we healed from this one thing, but it just seems like something just keeps like ripping open or being revealed, you know? And so there's this energy that you've walked away from it, but in the past you always knew that something was going to come back again, that you're like, that you had to be prepared for the next fight. But in this situation, there's no next fight coming because you're not in that environment anymore. And then the next one is the Six of Swords with Seer, and it says, travels the world over in an instant and brings anything anywhere. Gives the truth about depths and hidden treasures, willing to do anything one commands. truth about thefts and hidden treasures. What's the theft? I feel like the theft or the hidden treasure is this peacock. This peacock is like the 9 of Cups, right? It's almost 10 of Cups. It's almost like that loving commit, like treasure. But what was stolen was your confidence, that trust in yourself. You're the gift, you're the gem, you're the treasure. And so for that to be kind of stolen, to think that, you know, you're not good enough, you are awful, you're not worthy. Wayne's World's in my head. Yeah, you are worthy. And I see your gift coming back to you. It's like, it's almost like, do you know, like some people, there was a point where we were talking about kindness being happiness, or kindness being mistaken for being naive. And I feel like that has something to do with like the gift or the gem. It's like they saw your happiness and it would make them mad. And so it was like, how can I almost like piss off this person? How can I make their day sad? It's like, I don't know. That's what I'm seeing. So the gift taken, I see, is your confidence. So how do we bring that back? We've got the 6 of Wands with murmur. Teaches philosophy perfectly. Brings souls back from the dead to answer questions. I'm feeling very sad by this one, to be honest. I feel it in my eyes, in the back. Oh my gosh, I feel it in my heart, and I feel it in my elbow for some reason. I feel defeat. I feel drained. I feel like someone's been strong for a really, really long time. And I felt like with that came recognition of how strong you've been. And I feel like it's not that you need like someone to like come and rescue you. But I feel like you've been trapped almost in like no man's land for so long, right? Kept hitting your head at the wall. Like, when's this going to happen? This forward momentum, this something. And yeah, bring souls back from the dead to answer questions. That's what I almost see is like this relationship, like took your confidence, it trapped you, confined you, put you in a mental prison, right? It made you question your worth, and every day you were just prepared for the next battle. Your life became a battlefield. And so, yeah, I feel like there's so much to learn from that. Anyone who has ever felt trapped, there's like this point where it confines you so much that it's almost like a butterfly in a cocoon. I feel like that's been the reference that's been coming up so much for people lately, but it's like that you have to bust out. It's like, enough, you know? And so that's what I see with that. I see power coming back. And the last one is 8 of Cups with Vespar. It says, guide of waters, can make storms and rough seas, causes men to die in 3 days of putrid wounds. God damn. That's a pretty adept card for pathogens and diseases. Putrid wounds. This putrid wounds is this stinkhorn smell. And that's what I'm seeing. It's like this thing is still there within. And I kept seeing it as like a scratch. It started off as a scratch. It just scratched the surface. At least that's what you keep focusing on. Oh, it was just like a little whatever. But the damage is so much deeper. And when you actually know what's going on more, your thoughts, what I'm seeing is like the more and more you have those thoughts that are so unhealthy, what does that even mean? That are uncomfortable, that are spiraling you into hating yourself and not being confident and stepping into your peacock, not feeling safe about your resources, not being able to sleep at night, anything that takes your peace from you. That's what we need to clear up. That's that festering behind. It's a thought that almost like I see you happy in the now, but it almost like steals you back. But it's in the past. It's not even happening now. And I guess that's that thing as it talked about the one song. I feel like you could be either or on this, right? You could have been that person that left, right? You left, you got nothing. You're working really hard. You're struggling, but you're doing your things, and that's that. And you're scared that the past is going to repeat itself and whatnot. And you're still thinking about the past. In the other case of the scenario, someone ripped themselves from that situation. They went within, right? They did philosophy, went back almost to the brink of like their deepest, darkest shadow work. That's what I see like this, is like bring souls back from the dead for answers. It's like going so deep into the shadow where there's no light, and getting those answers and coming back and standing up with a mirror. And so here she is holding a mirror, right? And that, so yeah. And so what about this one, right? Causes men to die in 3 days if you keep letting your mind bring you to all these toxic things and living in the past, it's robbing you your joy. And if you're not living your day happy and authentically and right, well, all that stress and everything's going to havoc on your body and like probably shorten your lifespan. Am I 100% positive on that? No, but it seems to be proven in studies and whatnot. But yeah, the other person in this, I don't know if I even finished that thought. The other person in this, they left it. They did the philosophy. They did all that soul work, and they moved on. They moved on. And now the person who is taking advantage of them is the one who's trapped in the mental cell of the mind, the jail, thinking like, I should have been nicer. I should have put more effort. I should have all this. And the person in this story is just like, I'm ready for the next thing to kind of happen, you know? And Spirit saying like, November's coming. Like, it is already. But the first half is to release. What's the second half? Because you can't receive if everything's full. If your mind is full, you can't think of a new idea. If your house is so cluttered, you can't buy new anything. What's coming up is don't let pride get in your way, and adjustments are required. And so whoever is kind of like referring to this, the main one that okay, if you've already done the work and you're just like holding space till it happens, it's just saying like, don't let pride wreck this, right? Don't get to the finish line and be like all cocky and like to that person like, ha ha ha, it's just let them be. Let them, they created their own thing, but you keep focusing on you. And to that person who's stuck in the mental cell, the jail of their own mind, it's saying adjustments are required before we can even see the next half. Because my concern is the person who's trapped in the mind, who's trapped in letting things fester underneath, and that stink is like their nose blind to it. So Spirit's just saying to everyone kind of watching, most of us are gonna be like, oh no, I'm doing really good. Is there anything that seems to be a repetitive pattern that takes your thoughts, pops up in your thoughts more than you know, and steals your joy from the present moment? Because we need to hold like really high frequencies right now, right? No, yes and no. Right now is like letting go, so you don't have to hold anything. You literally just have to be like release. It's like, I'm gonna let go of all this pain, all this out of me. I'm just gonna sleep. I'm just gonna be lazy. People call me lazy. I'm gonna say I don't care, because that's what the energy is calling for right now. And so take it slow. Don't let pride be like, I've already done all my healing, there's nothing there, and then not look in the mirror, and then later on down the road get triggered by something, and you're like, but I was expecting flowers, not a karmic lesson, you know? So there's no battles coming because you walked away. The only battles is being patient and let past memories come up, Sometimes they're uncomfortable, sometimes they're things we don't like, but letting it work through us and then letting it go. Same with the fond ones, they're saying. Now, is there anything else, Spirit? I feel like, well, we're already at 40 minutes, so that's quite long. Anything else? They're telling me to go back to the linoleum song. Why? Okay, they're bringing me back to the song just at the end where he's just singing on the top of his lung, be like, that's me. And he's just like so happy. Like, that's what I see. I see someone like getting their voice back. I don't think you had a voice, a say. You didn't get a say in anything. And so, yeah. They're showing me senses where there's something that stinks. It's like, you don't need to use your nose for this. You need to use your voice for this or something. I don't know. I'm gonna put one more and then we're gonna like, oh, 2 came. We got the Knight of Cups and then we got Page of Pentacles. Red is standing out. Hey, look at this. This one, it's all the water. All the water in this, it is 2 different colors, but both of them are the same. And that one kind of brings to this one, where it's like trying to mesh these 2 fabric realities that don't belong. These ones do. And so that's what I see. And especially on that one, it's like that's me on the beach with like that metal detector collecting change, putting him in his pocket. I don't know how he collects it in his pocket if there's a hole in his pocket, but like there's many ways for you to reach new heights and things. And if you've been so focused on work, it's saying take a vacation, have more fun, get more sun. We need more sunshine. What's this one about? Knight of Cups. This one's all about don't go rushing into new emotions. Like, don't try to force something until you actually let go of the other one. New can't come in if it's full. You can't run away from your emotions. And so with that, we'll leave it there. I hope you have a good day, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.